Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Gaia Gossip on the Move. My name is Alicia Fall. I'm the founder and vision holder of Her Many Voices, and I'm here with Aisla Lewis. Hey, Aisla, how are you today?
Hey, good. You managed our tongue twister pretty well. I'm impressed.
Woo, got through it. I got through it. You know what? First, I want to apologize because we had the tech gremlins just as we're ready to go live. Suddenly, the tech gremlins decided to act up. So hopefully, we'll have smooth sailing from now on.
Oh, that's a great segue. Sailing. I think maybe you've done this before. Today, we're going to talk about sailing.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about sailing only because Maren Krings, who is our Gaia Gossip on the Move host, is going to be joining us in a little bit. And today's show is not about her sail trip from France. She will be doing that, I believe, the next podcast that we're doing. But she is going to talk about it a little bit today. But I did want to address the fact that we've got some issues going on in our waters. And it's all pointing back to climate change, right? We've got the temperatures are going up. And it's affecting everything, every aspect. Just today in the news, I'm reading about Australia is their ski season. They're looking at it closing early. Why? Because at this point, there's half the snowfall as usual, right? It's dropped by nearly half. Brazil is dealing with a massive fire. They just sent out 1,500 firefighters to combat a fire that is in the Amazon. And we've got heat deaths that are going up. As a matter of fact, the EU has predicted it just might triple by the end of this century. Triple because of the amount of heat. And so it's affecting our waters as well. You know, we're hearing it from all sorts of aspects.
And something I think, at least I know for me, it took me a while to understand the gravity of the ocean and its impact, because it's not something that I'm not a fisher person. I'm not out in the ocean very much. I love the ocean, but really understanding that the ocean shifting and changing and having higher temperatures has a huge impact on the environment as a whole is, I think, because something you talk about a lot, that interconnectedness and that awareness that what happens over in Australia ski season or with the oceans is still going to impact us here in Colorado. It's still going to impact you in Amsterdam, and really getting more aware that climate change isn't something happening somewhere else. Whatever's affecting you or not affecting you right now is also affecting other people, creatures. We're a part of the same ecosystem in the same world.
Absolutely. And, you know, we have talked about this in past episodes where we have issues. Fish off of the coast of Florida are spinning in one direction. They're not swimming. They are staying in one spot and just flipping over and over. You know, we have all sorts of things that are going on in the waters today. And I believe a lot of it has to do with the fact that we have ended up with our temperatures going up, and it's affecting everything. And yes, we are all so interconnected, all of us. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the things I love about this series that Maren is doing, is I feel like in today with her conversation around the climate solutions in Turkey, I'm really excited for everybody to get to hear her conversation with Hasan, and then also the videos that they took, because there are so many people that do understand how interconnected we are, and that together we can come together to support each other and Mother Earth. And this is one of those really great examples of some innovative things happening right now.
There are a lot of things that are going on right now, and we have to pay attention to them. Maren I am so excited that she has joined our team, because she is traveling the globe, really, and getting the stories of what are the people doing, right? We'll always be talking about all of the issues, the problems that we've created for each and every one of us, right? But we want to know, what are people actually doing about it to counter it?
Yep.
Every one of us has an opportunity to do something, whether it's some little action during the course of the day or something on a bigger scale. And so we have Maren to thank. She's going out into community and getting stories of what people are actually doing in their everyday lives to help counter the issues that we've created through climate change.
Yeah, and so I would love to have her and Hasan come in and talk a little bit about that, unless we can talk about more fish if you want to. So.
I don't think we can talk about fish anymore today. Okay. And I am very much looking forward to hearing what Maren and Hasan have to speak to us about. So come on in, and we are going to take.
Hello, everybody. Lovely to be back. Second show, and thank you so much, Alicia and Isela, for this lovely introduction. I am wondering, is Hasan already with us? Thank you, Hasan, for joining us. This is so amazing to have you in from Turkey, from Samsun. Welcome. We just had the... Yes, it's one of these things, we're trying to connect the world. Alicia and Isela just talked about this interconnectedness, and I think interconnectedness also starts with the fact that we need to bring people together, because exchanging our problems and finding solutions can only happen when we hang out, we laugh together, we spend time together, we have conversations together. And especially, usually it's the good times and the private times shared where we actually come up with the real ideas for solutions. And this is literally how I met Hasan. So Hasan is part of the Hemp Institute in Samsun in Turkey. That's on the northern coast on the Black Sea. And when I first met him, that was in, I think, 2019, if I'm not mistaken. He was still a student in further studies with the, Hasan, correct me. I'll let you talk about your career in a little bit, but I just want to give a little overview of how we met. So Hasan was part of the Hemp Institute then. He still is. This was literally the third time that we met now. I had just come back from Turkey about 1.5, 2 months ago now. And, friendships evolved. And I had the second time a chance of going to the Kizilirmak Delta, this time with Professor Ali Kemal from the Hemp Institute and with Hasan, which added a new layer because we had some fun rides to do on bikes, and really got to see a whole lot that you don't really see when you're going through by car. And I just want to point out, the baby's back here. I don't know if everyone can see it, a hemp plant. It is thanks to this plant that these connections keep being made, and that we're actually coming from one topic to the next. We're all looking for solutions. Sometimes hemp guides us, but it's not always about hemp. And today's show certainly is not about hemp, even though it could have easily been, because Hasan's connection with hemp is also extremely big. That's what he works on. Hasan, welcome. May I ask you to do a little introduction of who you are and what you do?
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Hasan Alp Şahin, and from Samsun to Turkey. And Samsun is northern and center side of Turkey, near the Black Sea. And I'm living here for about 60 years. I came here to study I completed my bachelor, master, and PhD Then I attend a postdoctoral program in Szeged University. It's in Hungary. After that, I return back to Samsun. Now I'm working as a postdoctoral researcher at the Hemp Research Institute of Samsun, 19 Mayıs University now. Okay, it's me.
Fantastic. And I can only say it's been a pleasure to hang out with Hasan, but also with the whole rest of the Hemp Institute, because there's always a feel of family vibe when I come to Samsun. And this time we had a hemp conference for 2 days. And after spending much time, exchanging in workshops, we decided, you know what, we'll take the Sunday. No, sorry, it was a Saturday. We'll take that and make another excursion to the Kizilirmak Delta, which is actually a nature protected area, which to Hasan, as well as Professor Ali Kemal, is of, I would say, quite importance. Hasan, can you tell us just a little bit about the Kizilirmak Delta so that our audience knows what is it, where is it, and what is the importance of this nature protected area?
Actually, Kızılırmak Deltası is a big subject. Kızılırmak Deltası is Kızılırmak is a river which is long 1,355 kilometers. It starts in Kızıldağ. It's a mountain. Kızıl is in English red. Kızıl mean red. Kızılırmak, red river, like that. And it came the Kızıldağ, it's red mountain, like it starts there at Sivas Providence. Then it came to Samsun and flow the Black Sea. And it's Kızılırmak, then and the Delta. There was 56,000 hectares delta has been formed where the water flows into the Black Sea in Bafra. And I will check my notes. Kızılırmak Deltası is a diverse habitat. There was a lot of the part of things. Farmers, buffaloes, water buffaloes, wild horses, birds, fishes, and more there was. And the Turkey have, I want to talk about this. First, maybe the birds. In Turkey, we see 420 different species, the birds. In Kızılırmak Deltası, we can see 362. And the birds came here, the Delta came to Delta and live there and go somewhere or immigrate way. And there was 6 lakes, one of them linked to sea sometimes, but not always. There was 6 lakes and there was different fishes. And farmers, there was farmers. Farmers make a rice. Rice plant is named paddy. They make rices in the delta, and they have water buffaloes, and they live there. And Samsun have 14,000 water buffaloes, and Delta, Kızılırmak Deltası have 4,500 buffaloes. There was and buffaloes. Buffaloes have more important roles than just providing milk for farmers. They are actually the protectors of the delta. They are part of delta ecological cycle. When the farmers harvest the lake reeds, lake surface will clean, but not all surface, and some little reeds already stay there. After farmers, buffaloes came and eat what left, and they clean the water surface, lake surface. After that, fish will be live there better. And you know, if there was a lot of plants, that time lake will be loose, and buffaloes will protect the lakes. And when the water buffaloes walking there, and you must know that water buffaloes need the water because the heat. They can't defend the heat, because if the warm up 30 centigrade, that time they need to walk with water and they need to cool off. When the water buffaloes walk into the lake, they leave back to footprint. Fishes can lay their eggs that the footprint deep of the lake. And when the buffaloes walk lake, some insects and some frogs maybe move, like jump or like that. That time birds seeing them, birds or frogs, and eat them. That way birds can find food. I try to explain to the water buffaloes walking the lake after the fishes are laying their eggs, the footprints, and they find a hole and make little houses there.
Yeah.
Fishes will be live there with that footprint, and maybe they are getting a lot. After the birds find too easy food, maybe sometimes you can see the buffalo have the birds, buffaloes
on their backs, right?
Yeah, on that backside, and
Yeah.
they watching the frogs or like that maybe. Okay, summary. Buffaloes helpful for farmers, fishes, birds, soil, and flora.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what you just explained us is so helpful, because the audio visual piece we have produced in Turkey shows just a tiny bit. I have been there twice, which was at different times in the year. So I experienced it one time where it was very wet. There were no dry zones. You know, you couldn't see these footprints that the buffalo leave. And this time with Hasan, it was very dry. And you could actually see, we walked over the plains, and it's quite difficult. These holes are, it's, you know, you're walking like
I know.
On balls. Yeah.
It's about, you know that it's about climate, and it's changing. Sometimes, and you know, there was 450 wild horses there was, and they live together, and normally when they want to run there, maybe they have injured their legs, maybe because of the if the soil dry, that time there was a lot of structure is broke. It will be problem, but which I don't remember the sometimes you know one part of year there was a lot of rain, and then every place is going wet,
Yeah.
more wet, and it seems like a lake, but not lake. There was a big water. But in summer, when you came here, maybe August or July, that time it's drying too much.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I just want our audience to understand how interchangeable this environment of a delta is. We have a couple of deltas here in Europe. There's, for example, the Camargue Delta in France, which is very known, but it's also very touristy. There's also the Ebro Delta in Spain, which is the same coast a little bit further down. And I think it's very important that we understand how important these ecosystems are to our, they're like a water filter, they're a water regulator. Since these areas are like a sponge and they keep a lot of water, when there's sea swell coming in, because there's, I'll talk about the weather events, when we have storm floods and things. These deltas actually act like a sponge, like they can keep the cities behind from being flooded. It's pretty crazy. So it's really important. And I'm just very intrigued how in Turkey this was able to be made, to be maintained and managed so well through the buffalo. So the buffalo are really a centerpiece, giving a reason for tourism, giving a reason of income and economy to the farmers, but at the same time being sort of that centerpiece of this entire ecosystem, keeping the birds, keeping the frogs, keeping the fish. And Hasan just explained that so nicely. And Hasan, before we actually, or maybe, you know what, Mikey, since I'm in love with changing plans quickly, but I think we should definitely show our 9-minute piece we produced on the ground, and then afterwards I will ask Hasan a little bit about a personal passion, because Hasan and I, and you will see that in the audio in the audio visual piece we're showing now, Hasan and I took a crazy bike ride. That was a lot of giggles happening right there. We'll go into a little bit more on bike rides and why we do that afterwards. But maybe we can show the piece now. I think it would be really nice for our audience to understand.
We have Sunday, and the 2-day hemp conference is over. And now there's a very small group of the Hemp Institute who has now decided to take a little field trip to the Kizilirmak Delta. And I'm probably butchering this name big time, but I'm going to have Professor Ali Kemal tell us a little bit more about that in Turkish.
Ben Profesör Doktor Ali Kemal Eyan, 19 Mayıs Üniversitesi'nde öğretim üyesiyim. Aynı zamanda Kızılırmak Deltası'nın gönüllü koruyucusuyum.
My name is Hasan Alp and I'm working at Hemp Institute of 19 Mayıs University.
Hasan is going to give us a little translation from Ali Kemal.
He's professor on Hemp Research Institute and he is voluntary about to protect Kızılırmak Delta.
And for me, it's the second time to be here. And from what I learned 2 years ago, the Kizilyrmak Delta is a wetland protected zone, which is an incredible environmental buffer for cleaning soils, binding CO2, having a very unique biodiversity and fauna and flora. And we're actually going to go over because we just found some water buffaloes. So let's see if they grunt for us.
Kızılırmak Deltası çok geniş, büyük bir alan. Yaklaşık 120 bin hektar. Bu alanın biyoçeşitliliği ve su kaynakları çok güçlü. Çünkü Kızılırmak nehrinden besleniyor. Hem fauna olarak hem flora olarak hem kuş çeşitliliği ve varlığı açısından çok güçlü. Ancak bu alanı en güçlü tutan şey manda ve mandanın ekolojik alandaki etki gücü ve faktörü.
This place is a very large place, 120 hectares, meter square, I don't know. and there was a lot of some birds, animals, and floras, faunas, a lot of living wildlife. Yeah, and this place protected by buffaloes and is feeding by Kızılırmak river.
So the buffaloes actually contribute incredibly to keeping this protected area alive, right?
Bu alanı mandalar hayatta tutuyor.
Evet, manda bu alanda en önemli belirleyici. Manda olmazsa bu alanın ekolojik değeri yok olur, kaybolur.
The buffaloes have the biggest important thing for this area because for economically, for environment, and we have to protect it, and we need to grow up the counts of buffaloes.
Okay. And because of the wind, you can't hear them grunt, but they it sounds like a super large frog when they grunt. It looks like it's injured.
Ya, figür. Mandanın yanındaki figür onun sahibinin logosudur.
The other side you can see a sign. It's about the who is this, which farmers have this. We can understand that buffaloes have a sign, and that sign which farmers have.
The mark.
Yes,
So
Maalesef,
everyone's got their.
maalesef soğuk, kızgın demirle yapıyor.
The problem is
The burning iron that they push in there, yeah.
the birds and the buffalo have a symbiotic life form. Buffalo walk there, and some insect or some animals run away. Then birds can see and eat them.
So some of the ground is really dried out, and the big footprints of the buffalo are actually the housing in the water for the frogs to lay their eggs in. Now we're back in the car, and what are we gonna look for next, Ali Kemal?
Şimdi buradaki balıkçılar kooperatifi var. O kooperatifin limanına gidiyoruz.
Now we will go to Fishermen's Cooperation's house.
I think I remember that one. Are they still fishing there?
Hala balık tutuluyor mu gölde?
Tutuluyor.
Yes, fishing.
What kind of fish do they get out of the water? Because it seems to be very muddy.
Ne tip balıklar çıkıyor?
Sazan, sudak, ondan sonra kefal, tatlı su kefali ve benzeri.
And Ali Kemal, are these fish that you can eat?
Yeah.
Yeah? How do they taste?
Tadı nasıl?
Very nice.
How much can climate change be felt here in the Kizilirmak Delta?
Burada iklim değişikliği ne kadar etkilendi, ne kadar hissedildi?
Kızılırmak Deltası'nda iklim değişikliğini en somut değerlendirmek mümkün. Fakat bununla ilgili yapılmış bir sayısal değerli bir araştırma yok. Yapılması gerekiyor.
We can understand in Kızılırmak Deltası very well to climate change, but we need to make a research with about numbers, and then we can say what happened.
Okay.
Lütfen yaklaşmayın. Aksi takdirde güvenlik müdahale edecektir.
Again please
Lütfen yaklaşmayın. Aksi takdirde güvenlik müdahale edecektir. Lütfen yaklaşmayın. Aksi takdirde güvenlik müdahale edecektir.
Otomatik uyarı.
And what does it say?
Yeah.
Don't cross the line, don't came here.
Let's go.
This machine talks all days and it's annoying the fishermen. They dry these gogas, fungus. Neydi hocam şeyleri? Juncus.
Yeah.
Then they selling it for the flower shops and they use it for arrangement. I don't know if it's English or not. Arrangement.
What is it called, the forest?
Galeric.
Okay.
And the water is go up and the wood forest take the water their body and not only stem. This is our last life. This is me.
Oh wow. That's awesome. So you're a huge group going out here.
There was a lot of people. This is 145 kilometers.
No, I don't know Suluk. What's Suluk? Or who is Suluk?
Kızılırmak.
Ah,
Yeah.
the blood suckers.
Yeah.
Ah, they do that here?
Kızılırmak Delta.
Yeah.
It's full of leeches.
No, there was a lake for grow to leach.
So it's basically a medical product
for-
that
for
they're extracting from the leeches. Okay.
Wow, so nice to see this now. It's just been 1.5 months, but there's already been so much happening in between. And I just want to emphasize this again. Thank you so much, Hasan. Thank you so much also to Ali Kemal. This is so hard oftentimes when you're traveling together and you're trying to compensate for language. Well, all of this is happening in like the third language for everyone. So it's quite an effort to go through all that much information when you're not really, having the vocabulary. I don't, because I'm not a scientist, and then we're communicating in a language that might be a bit more comfortable for me, but not very spoken in Turkey. So that's also a bit what you're picking up in the podcast or in that audio visual piece. I hope everybody enjoyed seeing a little bit more of the Delta and of how beautiful it is. And Hasan, if you can unmute yourself, I would love to ask you a couple more questions. You and Ali Kemal, you actually hold a position as volunteers in the Kizilyrmak Delta, right? You help the park, can we call it park, or the nature reserve to actually collect data, to protect the area, and to continue developing it also for a touristic, let's say, endeavor like that we had?
Actually, we want to protect the delta, and we think we must have some study. It's hard. There was a project in 2010, in year 2010. Ali Kemal have a project in Kızılırmak Deltası and take the students there, and 50 days we stay there, maybe 40 years ago, and we learned to Delta ecological literature, maybe wild birds, help. I don't know. Sorry, I need to check one word. Okay. The Scientific and Technological Research Council of Turkey, there was a government council, and they nature education and science school. They have nature education and science school. As a part of this project, this is a project. As a part of this project, I had the chance to live in the Kızılırmak Delta for 50 days, and each day focused on a different topic. It's related of the Delta, and helping me learn and became aware of various subjects such as ecological literacy, wildlife, fish, flora, and first aid for wild birds. Afterwards, throughout the university ecological life club, we shared the knowledge we gained with various students by organizing activities like camps, bike tours, and trips. It's like that.
Okay, that's actually perfect because I misunderstood that a little bit. I thought that was something you were doing on top of the work in the Kizilirmak Delta. So, yeah, for our audience, you have seen Hasan and myself. We basically rented bikes, 2 bikes, and then we just went off into, these small walk paths that you cannot go in with a car. And this was really interesting. I remember we found a turtle that had just been killed by birds, and probably we disturbed the birds because the turtle lay on the ground and was decapitated. Not very nice, but that's also part of nature. We ran into a group of water buffalo that literally jumped off these bridges that we were going over the waterways into the water, which was hilarious to see. I remember I was fighting with my bike a little bit. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to come out with both pedals, but hey, that adds to the fun. And it's just beautiful when Hasan and I had that conversation while biking, which is, you can go through in a bus, you can go through in a car, or you can walk or bike. And when you walk or bike, it's a different experience.
Actually, you can't go with your car that place. There was a shuttle bus, and you can use it. And electricity, some have electric cars, and walk or bike. You can go there like that. Not hard. It's close way, because you see the turtle, but there was a lot of snakes, and they in the morning or in generally morning part of the day, they goes up the road, and if you go there, if you want to pass the road, you can't see the snake, and you can kill. That time the nature will be disturbed.
I see. And yes, sorry, I got that wrong with the car. I think the car thing came in my mind because the first time I actually went in with the park guide, how do you call them? Park rangers?
Maybe park.
Yeah, and so we actually did go in with the e-car, but that was a very special trip. I remember we were out there at like 3:30 in the morning. It was a very unearthly time.
Yeah. You can see the bird that time. It's easy. Good time.
It was beautiful though. And tell me as a last question before we let you go into a happy weekend, all of you. I would love to know what your opinion is about, that making that connection between environmental work and awareness, and the fun parts such as, riding a bike, the challenge of, doing sports outdoors and feeling air, feeling when it's hot, feeling rain, feeling cold. How do you make that connection? Do you think one benefits the other?
Actually, we have at university ecological life club. It's making you can go there and volunteers. We make there some camps, bike tours, visit some places, and we want to understand the nature. After that, we want to share our knowledge. Then the activities we were doing started to feel insufficient, and we want to make a bigger impact. First, we formed a community, and then we established an association to handle official cooperations and obtain necessary permission for, if we want to go some places, we need to tell the government maybe, and they will be protect us for places. Maybe they will give permission or not. And the association is called Ecological Life Bicycle Association. The idea owner, our founder and president, Tanju Subaşı, our current vice president and Tanju's wife, Hasret Subaşı, and I wanted to create this organization. Once we reached the required number of members for establish the association, now we have over 500 volunteers or members about this association. It's founded in 2016. Our association organizes weekly cycling trips to ecological significant areas where are conduct short conversation style education seasons. We also occasionally provide safe riding training in primary schools. Thanks to participants with an ecological perspective, the association serves as an example to everyone involved. Cycling is an excellent option for reducing traffic problems in cities and minimizing our carbon footprints. Additionally, it's fun sports that helps us stay healthy without harming nature.
That is so cool, and I do want to say this as, from my opinion, coming to Samsun. Samsun is a huge city that has a ton of traffic problems. If you're trying to go from A to B in the city, you're oftentimes spending half an hour in the car. There could have easily just been, 5 minutes. Yeah. And Hasan, next time I come to Samsun, we have to take a city bike tour and see how far we can advance, making people switch in the mind, going from using the car to using the bike. How cool would that be to have this become a bike-friendly city? That would be really nice.
Okay.
So, thank you so much, Hasan, for your amazing support on the story, for giving us these really, really lovely insights, for being with me on the ground in the Kizilirmak Delta. I also want to extend that thank you to Professor Ali Kemal, who was definitely, I would say, the owner of the story by taking us there. And, while we'll are close to getting done with the show, I actually want to do a little pre-teaser for our next month show, which will be, Alicia and Isila already mentioned that. It will be on the sailing trip that I have literally just come off. I landed back here on my mountain in Austria yesterday. Excuse me. And thank you, Hasan. Have a lovely weekend. While I'm going to switch off my headphones for a second and go into, let me just unplug my computer and take a little tour around the cabin that I'm on. Hang on a second. I have my mobile set up with tangled cables here. That's fantastic. Because I came back here and we're having a bunch of hemp people on the cabin that I just want to quickly introduce to everybody. And let's see where they are. Yeah, I need you. And So give me just 1 second to zoom out from my headphones and put in the big audio. You guys hear me? Perfect. Pierre, can I have you here for a second? So we're live. Here is Pierre Salin from the Hemp for World boat.
Hello, everyone.
We have been in France on the sailboat together for a couple of days. There was a lot of really, really crazy ideas about what can be done with hemp on sailboats, but also in the biocomposite world. So we'll be having this podcast that was produced on the ground in probably next month. So yeah, then we'll be talking a little bit more about all this.
About the project. Thank you. Thank you, Maren. Thank you.
So thank you, everybody. You guys have a lovely weekend, and we will see each other next month again. All right? Thank you, Hasan. Thank you, Turkey. Thank you, France. Thank you, world. I'm sorry? Oh, not here. Sorry. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Çok iyi.